What is up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Brianna, and let me tell you, I am in such a good mood today. I feel like I am back to being my good self, so I'm just fixing some flyaways. But if you are new to the channel, welcome. Every month around here we do a coffee chat where I ask questions over on my Instagram. We get ready for the day together and we just chat about the month, about things, about anything going on in life. It's honestly become like my favorite video to film. I've got a nice little, I don't have coffee today, I have a hot chocolate. That is because I'm really picky about my hot coffee. Not in like a bad way, but we're at Corey's Moms and Families for the week this week, and I just don't really love regular non-dairy creamer in my hot coffee. I don't think it's sweet enough for me, so I decided against doing a hot coffee today, and we've got a hot chocolate with a little bit of like my like sweet and creamy silk creamer, and it is a 10 out of 10. I like a hot chocolate all the time, not just during the holidays, but I wanted to get on, and before we start this month's coffee chat, I really wanted to talk about what happened to me yesterday. I posted it on Instagram, so for those of you that are following my Instagram, thank you. For those of you that are not and just follow me here on YouTube, I was ready to film this video yesterday. I was really excited to film this video yesterday. I was like sitting on the floor and I had my makeup out and I was like ready, and I had dedicated my lunch break to doing it, and I sat on the floor and I just had a really hard time filming it yesterday. Like, I didn't like the lighting, I didn't like sitting on the floor, I can't do my makeup in the viewfinder, I forgot my compact mirror at home. Like, it was just really challenging for me, and then I had already started the video and I tried to like say, okay, I'm just gonna throw on like a quick mascara and like a little bit of my Hollywood Flawless filter and I'll just start the video regardless. Also, sorry if my camera doesn't like look crooked to you guys. Is this just like a me thing? Again, my perfectionist brain. I think I need a new tripod anyway, but listen, it is what it is today, you guys. But anyway, I ended up sitting in the chair in Corey's mom's living room and I just like kind of had a breakdown. Like, I just broke down. I did not like the way that the video was turning out. I didn't like sitting there not doing my makeup. I felt like I needed to be moving my hands. I just felt really constricted. I felt yucky. I like didn't feel myself. And so I decided that I was going to use today's lunch break instead, delay coffee chat. And I just like need to share that the internet is not perfect. YouTube is not perfect. Life is not perfect. I ended up taking a really nice shower after work yesterday. I detoxed my hair, shampooed twice, like literally washed the badness away, put on some fresh jammies, and I just felt so much better. So I'm in a much better mood today, but this is just your reminder that like not every day is perfect. What you see on the internet is not perfect. There are curated moments. There are beautiful moments. Some people get to do great things. You do great things. And at the end of the day, shit happens, shitty days happen, crap happens, and like that's just a part of life, right? There's gonna be days where you're supposed to be having a beautiful lunch date and you're gonna get a flat tire, and that's okay. In life, and in my 26 years of life, which is not that many years, I totally understand that. If there's one thing I believe in this world, it is that everything happens for a reason. And I know that it is so foolish and it is so silly to say, but everything in life happens for a reason. You didn't get that job, it happened for a reason. You didn't get to go on that overnight vacation trip, everything happens for a reason. They were out of eggplant at the grocery store, everything happens for a reason. You spilled your coffee on your shirt, everything happens for a reason. Whether you want to believe it in that moment or not. And to bring it full circle, I feel so great today. Like, I am energized. I slept well. I had 2 hours of me time last night before bed and I watched YouTube. I straightened my hair this morning. Like, I am in just such a better mental space today that breakdown yesterday gave me like the courage and the reset and the time that I needed to just feel like a better version of myself today, and I'm happy because of that. So, cheers to this month's coffee chat. Let's get into it. I actually don't have any new beauty products to try today. We're just gonna kind of get ready together. I'm gonna be a little up close and personal over here in the mirror because that's where the mirror is. I'm filming in the bathroom today, so we're hoping that the lighting is okay. But cheers to everything happening for a reason, being the best version of yourself that you can be, and don't push through things if you don't want to. Like yesterday, I could have definitely filmed after work and I just didn't fucking feel like it, and so I didn't. So cheers, got my hot chocolate, and I'll stop rambling. Let's get into this month's coffee chat. So let's get it going. I've got questions here that I ended up like organizing out from what you guys were asking over on Instagram. Thank you to every single person every month that like submit questions, because let me tell you, I love just chatting and hanging out. I love that we're feeling like we're on FaceTime, but I couldn't do these videos if you all weren't asking questions. So like, I just want to say I really appreciate that, and thank you all to those of you that are asking questions. If you have questions for even next month's coffee chat and you don't have an Instagram, you know, just comment on this video, comment on this video whatever questions that you may have that maybe I could bring into like next month's coffee chat. Or I can also post like a forum on, I almost said on Instagram, on YouTube, when I'm getting ready to actually like start posting and stuff for coffee chat. Oh, the sink counter is wet, so I'll put this over here. So before we get into the first question, I'm just gonna go through the 3 products that I'm using on my face today. First, I'm going with my Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Silk Primer. Then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the Flawless Filter, and then I got 6.5 of the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, because hopefully this is my summer shade and it will match my skin tone a little bit better. So that's what we're gonna go in with while we start with the first question, and that is, what are your plans for the next few months? So we have a lot of plans for the next few months. We are booked, we are busy, we've got things to be doing. So first and foremost, I'll go kind of in order. I'll go from now until August. Yeah, I'll go from now until August. So the rest of April, we have really nothing. I mean, today is August 26th, like we don't really have anything. I have my best friend's bridal shower though, on Sunday of this weekend, so I'm really excited about that. So we've got that plan. Then in May, we have one of our other friends, one of our best friends is turning 30, Katie, and we are going up to Boston because that's where they live, and we are going to celebrate her birthday. And then we are also going to Disney in May. Like, so excited to finally just be getting back to Disney. I know that we are really blessed and fortunate that we went in March, and then we went for just a quick overnight in April. However, this trip is the one that we've been most looking forward to, because I actually planned this as a spur of the moment trip for Corey and I, and we were supposed to go in January, and then what I ended up having to do was, because Corey's work ended up having like a kickoff sales weekend, we ended up having to move said trip. Like, we had to move it, and so this trip is now happening, obviously now, but I've been waiting since the beginning of December. Like December 1st, I think, is when I booked this trip. So to me, it feels like 6 months in the waiting. Like, I have been a patient gal waiting 6 months to go. Now, we're not sharing where we're staying because we're keeping it, not that we're, you know, this big grand reveal, like, you know what I mean? It's not like it's that big of a thing, but we really did kind of want to keep it a secret. Comment down below if you have any guesses. The only hint that I am giving is that we are staying at our first deluxe resort. So it is a deluxe resort. I'm not going to give any other hint than that, and it's a deluxe resort that we love. That's all I'll say, because we just cannot wait. It's our first. There's a lot of firsts on this trip, and I think that's why we're so specifically excited for this trip, because we just have a lot of firsts. I'll talk a little bit more about our Disney trip later in the coffee chat, but that's our plans for May. Is we have that, then we'll be back in Rhode Island for just some family time, so we're excited for that for the month of May. And then June, we have 2 things. The first thing we have in June is my best friend Angela's bachelorette party that I have been planning, which I am so excited to like share with her everything that I've like booked and have planned. And there's one thing I still need to book that I honestly, I just keep forgetting, and I just like, I need to do that ASAP because I can't keep forgetting. I'm like literally the one planning it. So I need to get that one thing booked. So we have a bachelorette weekend in June, and then the weekend after we get back from that, so we get back, Corey's also going to the bachelor party because he is a groomsman for Angela's fiance. So Corey will be in Lake George and I will be in Fort Lauderdale, which I'm very excited about. And then literally the weekend that we get back from that bachelor and bachelorette party is our engagement party. So we did decide last minute to do an engagement party. I got a lot of comments on my last video saying like, can you do, I had asked if you all wanted to see like engagement vlogs kind of like talked about in one big vlog, or if you wanted to see it scattered, and a lot of you said one engagement vlog, which honestly, thank you. I was actually like really hoping that that's what you would say, because I want to be able to have it as almost, I don't want to say a home video, like that's not what I mean, but I want it in that kind of style. Like, you know, the ability to be able to watch this whole process back once rather than little pieces of it here and there. So then we have our engagement party, which we're extremely excited about. Then in July, my best friend gets married on July 2nd. I leave for 20 days in Europe on July 4th, and I am going to Italy, France, Spain, Germany, and then back to Italy with Corey. So I will be gone for 3 weeks. I will be vlogging here and there. The first kind of, oh, I'm also going with the Hourglass concealer. The first kind of like beginning of that trip is gonna be just me alone, like with work and some friends, and I'll be able to vlog kind of here and there, but not like too much. And then Corey will be meeting me in Milan in Italy, and we'll be doing Milan for like 2 days, and then we'll be going to Cinque Terre, which is the 5 little towns and islands like on the northern like kind of coast area, like by the water. So beautiful. I've been, this will be my this will be my 3rd time going there. I love it. I think it's beautiful. Corey's never been to Italy, so I'm really excited to take him there because I think he's gonna love it, and we'll be able to cross another country off of Corey's list, and I think he's going to absolutely love it. So then after July, we've got nothing planned as of right now, which feels good. Oh, that's a lie. I do have a trip planned in August with a friend of mine, Casey. We're actually doing a girls' weekend trip in Disney. The flights were cheap, the hotels were cheap, so we decided to book a spur of the moment girls' Disney trip, which I'm really excited about because we've always wanted to go and do something, the 2 of us in Disney, and we've just never had the time. It's never worked out right. It's always been so expensive, so I'm very excited for that as well. So those are our plans for the next kind of few months. So next, let's move into job. I got 2 questions. Tips for looking for a new job. You know, this is really hard for me because I have never looked for a new job. I have been at the same company for 5 years. I don't ever plan on leaving. So honestly, maybe a quick tip for looking for a new job is make a pros and cons list of what do you love in your current role, what do you enjoy in your current role, and what do you wish you could change? What doesn't bring you joy? Every time that I have a one-on-one or like a meeting with someone at my company that I'm working with that like wants to move up in the company or wants to progress but doesn't know what job they're looking for, what route they want to go, I always say, okay, I want you to write out everything that you love doing at this company or doing in your job, right? Things that are outside of your job, not in your job. And then I want you to write what you don't really love. And then what I want you to do is bring that back to me and let's see if there's a job description that fits this. I think sometimes it's really helpful to have a little bit of time reflecting and know what you like and what you don't like, to know what will bring you joy in your job and just like what won't. The next one on job was, how do you plan and work towards job growth, doing anything monthly for it? So this is something that I'm currently working on right now. I'm really hoping to be promoted this year, and I'd really like to be promoted to what we call at work a senior trainer, and I'm currently a sales trainer right now, but I would like to be promoted to a senior trainer. That is something that I am really passionate about. It is something that I am actively working on. So one thing that I am doing right now that I am hopeful will prepare me for the ability to get promoted is I am working with a lot of our new trainers right now on a lot of professional development, you know, how to make them better trainers, training them to be better trainers, and just offer reflection space, one-on-one time, and just, I don't want to say extra meetings, but just extra professional development, I think is so important when you think about, you know, moving up in your role. So yes, I am currently doing something that I am hopeful that will actually help me grow and be promoted at work. However, on the off swing of that, one of the best pieces of advice I've ever been given, and it wasn't directed at me, but we were at a sales rally at my company, and one of our presidents of the company was kind of speaking to everybody, and he came into the room and he said, I've never interviewed for my next job. And I was very confused. I didn't really understand what that meant until he looked at the room and said, I've always been so focused on doing what I'm doing well and giving it 110% that my next job will come to me. And I've always been offered opportunity, and I've always had the opportunity to say yes to said opportunities. And let me tell you, I loved that. I loved that so much. It's something that has stuck with me honestly, my entire professional career as of right now. And I also haven't interviewed for really any other job. Like, I was working so hard. Oh, I'm also gonna go in with the Dibs Duo Stick in the shade Spill the Tea. And I've also been working so hard at all my jobs in this career. And granted, listen, I have only been at this company for 5 years. Who knows what will be the case in, you know, a year or two if I do want a new job. I'm really not looking for anything right now. You know, at this company, I don't plan to leave this company, like, literally ever. However, I do think it's important to, you know, think through those things. So that's just a piece of advice that I've been given, and it was that, you know, he was working so hard in his current job that he really wasn't looking for opportunity, and opportunity came to him. And that's not always the case, right? You're never gonna always, you know, be given that opportunity to not have to interview or to not have to do those things. But I do think that what it shows is where you want to be working towards growth and you want to develop, you also want to make sure that you're not losing sight of the good things that you should be doing every day in the role that you're currently in. So the next question is, who is your favorite character from any book you've ever read and why? My favorite character from any book I've ever read is Daisy from The Great Gatsby. I love The Great Gatsby. That book made me fall in love with reading. It's my favorite book of literally all time. I think the reason that I like her, where I'm very disappointed at what, if you've never read The Great Gatsby, I won't give you any spoilers, where I'm very disappointed at how she reacts in the end. I love who she's trying to be for her daughter, and I love the sacrifices at certain times that she makes, and I love that at points, you know, she follows her heart until she feels like something else has to give, and I guess I really like her. Next question, is there a place in the world that most represents who you are and why? I don't know if there's necessarily a place in the world that represents me, like exactly who I am, but what I will say is I really, really love the city of London. Like, I think it is probably one of, if not the most beautiful places that I've ever been. It very much gives off kind of like New York City vibes, honestly, but the reason why I love it, and I think maybe it represents me, is it's a very fast-moving city, and I find myself to be very fast-moving, very quick. And the other thing that I would say that really makes me resonate with London is there's so many different facets to just one city. There's so many different boroughs. There's so many different things that you can do. There's so many different areas that represent so many different things that I think that really represents me. I feel like I have a lot of facets to me, right? I love fashion, I love going to Disney, I love to travel to Europe, I love to read, I love to cook home cooked meals, I love to be lazy and a couch potato, and I think that London has so many just like different areas that you can be in, and I think that would probably represent me, because I think there's in one little city there's so much, and in one little me there's so much. So I would probably say that. Next is, money is no object, where would you go? Where would I go if money was no object? Honestly, probably the Maldives. Corey and I really looked at the Maldives for our honeymoon, and it's just not gonna work. Like, I wanted it to work so bad. I've done like almost everything that I possibly can to see if we could get it to work, and it's just not gonna be like the cost that we need it to be. Like, it's just gonna be way too much money. So I'd probably say the Maldives. Maybe that's the one that I'm like thinking of the most right now because it's the most fresh in my brain. I would say the next place that I probably would really love to see if money were no object, you know, I don't know. I mean, I want to go everywhere and anywhere, and I think this is kind of the curse but the beauty of the travel industry that I work in. I don't actually feel like many things are, you know, that far-fetched, because if you financially plan, you can travel. And I never ever would have believed that if you told me that a few years ago. I would have told you there is like no way that we'll be able to go to X, Y, and Z place. Like, we just literally will not be able to do it. And since having the opportunity to travel and actually seeing what it costs and how you can save money to do those kinds of things, it's all possible. Like, you can do it all. And so I would say either the Maldives, or my second one would be Fiji. I'd love to go to Fiji. The next question was, any updates on European travel? Kind of talked about it already, but yes, I'm headed to Europe this summer for about 20 days, like I mentioned, and Corey will be meeting me in Italy at the end of the first 2 weeks. We'll be going to Italy for a week, and I am so excited. Comment down below, what kind of vlogs do you want to see? Do you want to see a week-long vlog of the entire trip? Do you want to see a Milan vlog, a Cinque Terre vlog? Like, what do you kind of want to see with those vlogs? Because I'm very excited about that. Would you and Corey move to Orlando? We've gotten this question a lot about moving to Orlando, moving to Disney. Would we move to Florida? The answer is yes. yes, we would move to Orlando. I would love to do that. In our life right now, in the way that our life trajectory is panning out, it doesn't make sense for the long term. We're getting married in September of 2024. We'd like to start a family. We'd like to buy a house. So the idea of getting up and moving for only a calendar year or two doesn't make too much sense for us in the grand scheme of things. We want to save that money and travel with it and buy a home with it and buy a car with it. But we are currently in the works of, you're the first to know in this video here, that we are actually thinking about moving to Orlando for a short period of time. We are thinking about moving to Orlando for about 6 to 8 weeks in either January through April, like a chunk of time in there, and renting an Airbnb and being close to Disney because we've always wanted to do that. And because it can't work long term, we thought, okay, let's try something short term. So that's in the works. We probably won't start really looking into the details of that until after our Italy trip. We need to take one thing at a time, but that is something that we are very heavily considering. Of course, we got some Disney questions because when do we not? How do you afford to go to Disney for long periods of time / often? What do you budget and how do you plan? So let's start with the first question. And I know this is not coming from like a bad place in any way, shape, or form, but how do you afford to go to Disney for long periods of time? Like, we save. Like, we spend no money on other things other than traveling. I'm not constantly buying new clothes. We're not going out to eat every night. We're not spending frivolous money because we might want this new top at the store. Like, I think that's something that has really been something that Corey and I, also need to take a sip of this, have learned over the last, year and a half. You can make anything work. It's a matter of what are you willing to sacrifice, right? We can't just say, yeah, we go to Disney all the time because we have the money for it and we spend $20,000 a year to go to Disney because we make that much money, because that is so far from the truth. Now, I would like to say, Corey and I are really fortunate in the jobs that we're in. We do make relatively good money. We save a lot of that money. We're both in sales. Do with that what you will. I'm not one to not want to share my finances on the internet, but I also don't think it's necessary to share your finances if you're not in a place to. And I think, that's something that I'd like to keep for me and Corey is our finances. Maybe at one point I'll be a little bit more open and apt to sharing finances, but right now I'm really not. So we just kind of do it because we budget. I am going to do, I'm also going in with the Lancome primer. I'm just gonna lean way up here, but we also are going to be doing an entire video on how we budget, how we plan, and how we do all that stuff for Disney. I think what a lot of people think of is, Disney is so expensive, how do you go all the time? We book it around cheap flights, we book it around hotel deals. We're never going to Disney at a full price hotel fare majority of the time. We're never going to Disney when it costs each of us $500 to fly. We can't afford that. And where we save a lot of money to travel, and that's where a lot of our free income money goes, I also don't think that it's, completely not doable. So yeah, I would just say I think Disney is doable. What do you budget? It really just kind of depends. There's some months where we'll buy, I'll buy $200 or $300 worth of Disney gift cards. There's months that I don't spend it at all. There's months where at work I get a big bonus check and it's an entire portion of I just sneezed, and it's an entire portion of a Disney trip. Sorry, I just sneezed. So I think that's, we'll move the camera over this way so you're not too far from me. But I think that that's another thing, right? It's, it's all about, and again, I'm gonna do an entire video. I feel like I'm kind of rambling and it's always hard for me to talk and do mascara at the same time, but that's something that I'll do an entire video on. I'll talk about how we plan, I'll talk about how we budget. Thank you for asking. I know that everyone, budgets differently, makes money differently, but for what me and Corey like to do, we just decide that we're gonna do it. We look at the entire price tag and then we break it out month to month and see if it's something that we can do financially. And if it's not, then we don't do it. And if it is, then we book it. So that's what we do. I also just finished up doing this mascara, so I'm gonna do my other coats of my second one. When's your next Disney trip? We leave in 2 weeks from tomorrow. So we are going in 2 weeks. We are going May 11th to the 16th. We are so excited, so elated. We have our annual passes. We're ready to go. If you are in Disney at all over those days and you see us, say hello. We would love to meet you guys. You support my channel. You have given nothing but love and support to Corey, and so always, please, if you see us in the parks, say hello. I'm also turning this back, but oh, sorry. Always say hello to us. We would love to meet you and see you in person. That would just be so amazing and so exciting. So always say hello if you see us. The next question is my favorite beauty products for the parks. I have talked about a lot of my makeup in the parks more recently in a lot of my pack and prep with me's. If you're curious as to what I use in the parks, I would watch those pack and prep with me's, but just to give two of my favorite in park, maybe two or three, I love the I love the Summer Fridays sheer skin tint. I love that. I love the Tower 28 tinted SPF. That's my favorite. And then I really do like the Maracuja Tarte Hydrator. I don't really wear a lot of thick foundation on my skin during the park days. It's way too hot. So that is just something that I will definitely not do. All right, we've still got a lot of questions. I feel like we're gonna kind of fly through here because I guess it only took me a handful of questions to do my makeup today, but I guess we could we'll put on lipstick or like lip gloss a little bit later. We'll just kind of hang out and chat. So I got a ton of really awesome YouTube questions, so let's dive into those. The first one is, how did you start your YouTube channel? So I wanted to start a YouTube channel probably in maybe right before COVID, like January 2020. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I see other people, you know, filming content. I absorb content, so why can't I put out content, right? I think it's, you know, you think you're gonna be embarrassed or people are gonna say stuff about you. If your friends don't congratulate you and your friends don't say, you know, oh, I'm so excited you're starting a YouTube, like that's so exciting, I'm so proud of you, like then they're not your real friends. So I just think that I went into it and I said, you know what, I'm gonna start this, I'm gonna do it for me. And I was originally just doing it to document Corey and I's travels. Our first travel experience post-COVID just ended up being a trip to Walt Disney World, so I documented that, got a lot of traction from the Disney community, and it was really great. So then I just kept on keeping on, kept filming videos, took some inspiration from some YouTubers, did our own travel, and yeah, just kind of sparked from there. Next was the most challenging part about being a YouTuber. Honestly, just like finding balance, I think, is so difficult. I work a 9-to-5 job. I don't really have many breaks during the day. I'm constantly busy. I'm constantly doing 105 things, and unless I'm filming something on my lunch break, I don't have balance at night. My night is recording a podcast, exporting the podcast, vlogging, editing the vlog, getting it uploaded, working on the thumbnail photos. Like, there's just, the hardest thing is finding balance when you're working full time. And I love doing this. If I could do this full time, I would, but I can't. Like, I don't make that much money, right? I love you guys and you're here to support me, but I don't make that much money per month. So if we had a little camera change angle or whatever, it's because the battery literally just died in the middle of my statement, but it'll make me stop rambling. I would say the most challenging thing about being on YouTube, honestly, 100%, is just finding that balance. It's really difficult to, also I look kind of orange because of the lighting. It is really difficult to find that balance when you are working full time and wanting to create content, and Instagram too. Like, there's just a lot of moving parts and it's finding the balance for sure. The next question was, what is my favorite thing about being on YouTube? How can you even name one? I love YouTube so much. I feel the most myself when I am chatting to the camera. I feel like I get to be so creative. I've always had a really strong creative brain. I love vlogging. I love being able to like look back on our trips. It almost feels like this generation's version of like a home video, and I think that's something that I really love. But honestly, I think my favorite thing about YouTube is this like amazing community of people that you all support me, you all watch me. Like, I've also met Carter, who's like one of my best friends now, and I just feel like my favorite thing is you guys. And that's so cheesy, and like, listen, I'm sorry. I know, you're probably like, no, it's not, Brianna. It really is. Like, seeing comments on my videos, seeing people talk about Corey and being on the Food Network jokingly, or, you know, me and my Diet Cokes and stuff, I just feel like I've gained extra friends in life. I feel like I've gained this community of people that are so supportive and so wonderful. So I would say, like, you guys are some of my favorites. Next question is, my dream brand collab? Ooh, that's a good question. Honestly, I would probably say, I'm trying to think of things that I like use on a day-to-day basis, probably, honestly, Lululemon would be a big one, only because I love their leggings, I love their fanny packs, I love their loungewear, like I live in their stuff. So I think Lululemon would be one. Obviously Disney, like hi Disney, if you're watching this, like host me and my fiance for a stay. We have annual passes, so you only have to pay for the hotel, but I think that would be another dream collab. And then I think another dream collab would be, I don't know, honestly, anything big and cool. Like it feels so like, I don't know, makeup brands, Dibs Beauty is like my favorite beauty brand. I don't know, anything would be really like a dream. My goal this year is to sign one brand collab, so I'm hoping that that will come in the next few months, and I'm just hoping for growth and hoping that it happens, and if it doesn't, that's okay, but definitely I would say maybe those would be like my dream brand collabs for sure. What editing software do you use? I use iMovie. I don't have Final Cut Pro. I've just never thought about investing in it. Maybe next year I will. I love using iMovie, and I use Canva for like my overlay words and stuff. So I just have found a really good rhythm with what I like, and I'm not really in the market to like learn something new right now. What are some tips for someone who wants to or is starting to post content on a YouTube channel? My first piece of advice is not going to match with my second piece of advice. Well, actually, I just am going to give 3 pieces of advice. The first thing I would say is be consistent. And that's really challenging because it means you may not have balance. But, you know, be consistent. YouTube algorithm likes when you're consistent. They like when you might be posting on a schedule. They like when you're posting 2 uploads a week. They like when you're posting the same kind of content. It allows YouTube to put you in, for lack of a better phrase, a YouTube bubble, and they can say, this person posts a lot about makeup. So if there's other people that like watching makeup, we're gonna give this video to them and see if they would like it. You know, we're not gonna serve up watch content if you don't watch videos on watches, right? So the first one is just to like be consistent. And the second tip I would say is, which I don't even like, part of me doesn't want to give you this tip, but I do think it's important, niche down. Like, find out what you like and what you love. You know, I started posting Disney because we just went on one haphazard trip and I wanted to vlog that. Little did I know that majority of my community that we have here on YouTube, or at least a good handful of you all, would be Disney fans and friends as well. So I really started Disney, and then when I started to do other sit-down vlog videos, they didn't get as much traction. But now the other tip that I have is just to be yourself. Post what you like, post what you love. I feel like this channel is, the way that I like to describe my YouTube channel is, we are the island of misfit toys. Like, I just want to post whatever I enjoy. I like talking about makeup. I like going to Disney World. I like traveling to Europe. I like to style clothes. I love to vlog. I like to be authentic. I'm a fully remote employee. Like, and I don't want to keep myself in a bubble. I don't want to say, okay, well, you're not allowed to post that because it's not going to do well. Or, you know, I've learned so much from Carter about her resets. I love the idea of a reset, so I'm going to post it. Love Jessica Braun's coffee chat idea, so I'm going to make a spin-off of it and do that myself. We like going to Disney. We like to travel. I like to vlog. So post what you like, be yourself. You know, I never thought that there would even be 100 friends here, never mind almost. We're at 3,600 subscribers, 3,600 subscribers. Like, people will love you for you, and like, that's cool with me. I'm not everyone's cup of tea or cup of hot chocolate or Diet Coke, and honestly, I don't really give a shit. I am who I am, and if you love me for me, great, thank you, I love you back, and if you don't love me, then that's okay, because we're not meant to love everything. The world's not perfect. So those are some tips, and a little bit of, oh, and if you need a pep talk, just post. My first tip is just do it. Just post. We absorb so much content as it is on the internet that, like, why does it matter if you're posting or not posting, or posting something that you like on the internet? Like, do it. Who cares? So yeah, just do it. Next question is, where do you get your content ideas for YouTube from? This is kind of, okay, so this is a little bit of a, I don't want to say a tricky question, but I need a sip of this. I spend a lot of time brainstorming things that if I were watching YouTube that I would want to see. So for example, I really do like watching unboxings. I like seeing what people buy at the store. I find it really interesting. I like seeing grocery hauls, what people are making during the week. I really love learning about like new beauty products. So if, for example, Corey and I go shopping at Target today and I was like, oh, maybe I would vlog. Oh, I'll vlog today and do like a Target vlog. And then I can share my Starbucks order. And then so I think that's how it stems. The other thing is I do look at what other YouTubers are posting. I get so much inspiration from so many other people. Like, I think a few weeks ago, Carter posted a like fresh start video, like her starting fresh. Loved that idea. I wasn't ready to implement that on the channel just yet, but like I love that idea. Maybe there's a way that I could spin it, or what are some things in my life that I maybe want to implement and vlog and look back on. So, you know, I think just use a little bit of your creative brain. And I also search, you know, go through some of your favorite subscribers or like some of your favorite YouTubers that you follow. What do you like that they do? What do you like watching that they do? And is that something that you'd like to, you know, vlog about? I like to talk. Okay, I'm a chatty gal, so the minute that I saw that Jessica Braun was doing like a monthly just chit chat and was putting on a face of makeup, I was like, I love that idea. I'm gonna spin that into my own because I love to chat and I love to do makeup, and that would be a fun thing. So that's kind of where I get some of my like more ideas and stuff for YouTube. Next, on to just some miscellaneous questions. The first one was, would you ever get a dog? And the answer is no. I'm so sorry, I love all of you dog people, but I am not going to walk my dog in the freezing cold and bend over and pick up their shit on the ground. I'm not gonna do it. I love dogs and I love to visit them and hug them and pet them, but I don't want one of my own. The other thing is that Corey had a dog growing up, and he said that the day that he had to put his dog down was the worst day of his life, and he has no interest in going through that pain again, so we will not be getting a dog. But I love dogs. I don't want to say I don't love dogs because my best friend Angela has Stan, our little Stan the man, and I love Stan. I'll let Stan lick my face. The only dog I'll literally ever let come, you know, within the vicinity of my face, and I love that dog. I just don't think that Corey and I's lifestyle also pertains to a dog. We're constantly on the road traveling, so that's not fair to the dog, and we're not in the market to do that. The next question is, what perfume do you wear every day and date night? So during the day, I wear Tease by Victoria's Secret. It's like a body spray, and then for date night, I love the Coco Chanel Mademoiselle perfume, and I love Daisy by Marc Jacobs. Those are like my absolute favorites. Favorite content creators, I love Carter Sullivan, I love Jessica Braun, I love my friend Sarah's faves. I feel like I'm really difficult to answer who's my favorite creators because right now, oh, and I forgot, I have found a new creator that I love. She started following me, so I followed her back because I was like, oh, she's another friend on YouTube. She's from Boston. Her name's Ashley Newbegin. Love her vlogs. I love that I found her, I think, through maybe a Disney vlog or something, or maybe she posted like a Boston day, and because we lived in Boston, that's how I had found her channel. I just really like her. I think she's so cute and she's so kind and she seems so sweet and like just so fun. I messaged her the other day and was like, I think we'd actually be friends, like if we met in real life. So she's another creator, she's small, and I really love her. I actually think her vlogs deserve way more hype and she deserves way more subscribers. So if you want to go check her out, I'll link her down below. I'm in my comfort YouTube era right now. I watch 3 to 5 people and that's it, but I'm subscribed to a gazillion. So I think I need to do like a clean out of my favorite creators and favorite like not subscribers, but like YouTubers right now, because I just think I'm stuck in my comfort ways and I just want the same people to upload like 4 videos a day. So to my favorite creators, just upload all the time so that you can keep me occupied. Next is staying organized and saving time in the summer months when it gets so busy. One of my best friends, Rachel, gave this question, and Rachel, I love you. And I think what's so important is dedicated quality time for yourself and setting that without wearing. So for example, when you're super busy in the summer, everyone wants to make plans. It's a beautiful day out. We want to do all these things, and it is okay to say no. Like, I think so many times it is told on social media, like, you're gonna have a yes day and you should say yes to all these summer plans this summer, and like, you're gonna make new friends and you're gonna say yes. And that doesn't protect your mental peace at all. So I think it's important to save your mental peace, to save time when you're busy. In terms of staying organized, the only thing that literally I live and breathe by is I have a flip calendar in our office at home that I literally write down whenever everything is. And there are days that I will write on there like, do not make plans in big red writing, and I block that day. I'm like, I'm not allowed to make a dinner plan. I'm gonna say no to friends. This is gonna be my mental day. And I think that that's really important too, is we forget to put our mental sanity before all the other fun things that come around in the warm weather. You can go on a coffee date with a friend and say, you know, we're not going to talk for 2 hours because I'm going to read my book, but I want to spend time with you. So I'm doing this if you'd like to join, or I'll see you afterwards. And I think it's just also being able to do that too. And yeah, that's a little bit of a tough one though. I think I'm still learning how to stay organized and stay structured, so that's definitely one. The next question was, would just love a summer favorites video. I will definitely do that. I'll probably end up doing that maybe in the beginning of July, and it will go up like mid-July when I'm traveling, because normally from like May to July is when I find a lot of my like summer favorites, so we can definitely do that. And then the last question that we will end on, as I will put on just a smidge of lip gloss because Corey is taking me to Chipotle for lunch after this, is how's wedding planning going? Well, I think wedding planning is going great, and it's because I have really tried my absolute best to stay fucking calm. Michael from The Office, like, everyone stay fucking calm, because at the end of the day, whether we are getting married at a McDonald's, getting married at a winery, whether we have 165 people, 4 people, if one flower is out of place, if, you know, we don't get to have them, if I don't get to have the makeup artist that I originally, you know, was so excited to have, like, everything just happens for a reason. And I want the process to be fun, and I want it to be exciting, and I want it to be a time that I am like so overjoyed to actually be going through. And the more that I stress out about the crazy little things, or, you know, what am I gonna do? I don't have anyone, you know, to do my makeup yet, and I don't have anything for this, that, and the other thing. Like, I just think it's so important to just chill. Just chill. And if you were to have all of your favorite people in a room to celebrate you, how would you do it? And that's really what I've tried to tell myself. Wedding planning is going great. I've taken a little bit of a break the last month or so because now we're starting to plan the engagement party, and I have the 3 big things for the wedding. I have my photographer, my DJ, and my venue. Everything else really honestly comes secondary. And so yeah, wedding planning is going pretty good. It's just, you know, comment down below if you've ever had your wedding or as you've been planning, but I've reached this point in my life and in my wedding things that whatever happens, happens. It's gonna be a beautiful day, and I would marry Corey in a McDonald's parking lot. I'm gonna cry. I would marry Corey in a McDonald's parking lot because he has been the best thing that has literally ever come into my life, that if everything else goes wrong and I just get to marry him on that day, then the day was literally perfect, because Corey is my best friend. He is my other half. He literally is my soul, and I'm trying to remember that as the wedding planning process goes on. So we're not gonna cry because that's just ridiculous. Brianna, get your shit together. You cried yesterday, you don't need to cry again. But anyway, this was a lovely coffee chat, just a little bit of light glam. I'm filming my monthly reset after work today, so that will be very good. But I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being a part of my monthly coffee chat, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.